Well, hello again. I'm out on my travels, and this time my intention is, I say intention because things keep changing, but my intention is that I spend about 2 days on a road trip down to Dartmoor, and primarily because a couple of weeks ago I had a bit of an abortive attempt to go and camp at West Mill Tor. It's absolutely bonkers. Well, as you can see, this is just completely nuts. The tent is just going all over the place. It's going to get ripped to pieces. Well, it's middle of May now, and that's sort of peak season really for bluebells in English woods. So I thought I'd just stop and go and take a look. I've got to say, I'm just loving this little scene here. We've got this lovely, just lilac coloured carpet of bluebells with this path winding through it. I mean, it's very cliche, really. There's one or two things I'd change if I could, but I can't. So there's a small tree here just to the right of the path that's just getting in the way of it, and if I shift to my left it covers the path completely. If I shift to my right there's a tree to the right that's gonna get in the way. So I think I'm in about the right position, and I'm torn between this with a little bit of dappled sunlight like we have now versus waiting for some shade, but both of them are nice images. I've put this on f11. I think that ought to give me enough depth of field, and I'm photographing probably about 10 to 12 feet, 3-4 meters into the image, and I might just focus stack this. Got a 2-second timer on, a little bit further in, take the shot, and a bit further up the path, take the shot. And that absolutely should be enough. The irony of this for me at the moment is that I've come out to somewhere other than the New Forest to not be taking photographs of woodland. And what am I doing? Yep, I am taking photographs of woodland. Okay, so this is essentially the same scene, but I've moved a little further down the path, and I don't think I can really show you because there's too much reflection on the back of the camera screen here, maybe there. And so it's just allowed me to make a little bit more of the path itself here, coming in from the right this time instead of from the left, and got the height of the camera just so that it avoids these leaves here that otherwise would be encroaching on the scene, and just waited again for some nice dappled sunlight. It's picking out little pools of bright blues and purpley tones, and we've got these very, very fresh greens of early spring here as well. It's absolutely beautiful. So I also fancied this scene at a longer focal length, so I've put on my 24 to 200 lens, and or actually it's my second body with that lens on, and just extended the focal length so that I go right down the path and just making an even more intimate scene. Well, so far I've managed to walk about, well, 30 yards into this wood, and I've been here for about half an hour or so. It's nice, it's really nice to be able to just take my time on a shot or three. Well, time for a little bit of walk and talk. So I'm going down this beautiful little country lane, absolutely gorgeous, and this is between Abbotsbury and St Catherine's Chapel, which is up on the hill, up there to my right. Oh wow, oh wow. That is a tree and a half, isn't it? Look, I can see a few people have spotted this, look. Oh my. Isn't that something? Well, it's a bit of a climb up here, but I really want to get up there and use the PhotoPills app to work out whether or not it's likely that I could get a decent view of the Milky Way. We've really only got about 2 hours during the night, so about midnight till 2 p.m. When we have, so I'm distracted by a rather beautiful view I'll show you in a moment, when we have real darkness, and the rest of it is either twilight or astronomical twilight. Right, I'm going to turn this camera around and show you this beautiful village that I've just walked through of Abbotsbury. Wow, ain't that something? So from this position with a wide-angle lens, the Milky Way would rise just about here, about just after 1 o'clock in the morning, and then move to the right here. Question is, what will the sky be doing? And at the moment the forecast is not great, so we can see plenty of cloud in the sky at the moment, and at least from the forecast it's likely to stay this kind of way. That was a somewhat easier ascent today than last time. That's because I've come round the edge of the Clitterfield here and up what passes for at least an aspirational path, a bit less ankle braking. So pretty much at the top, about 540 meters or so. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the sunset tonight. Probably not a lot, because there's a lot of cloud on the horizon. If we look over kind of that sort of direction, I think that's pretty much where sunset's going to be, maybe a little bit further that way, but don't think we're going to get a lot of colour in the sky. But I've been wrong before, so let's hope I am this time. Plan is get something to eat now. It's just about 7:15, and get that done in time for 8 o'clock, 7:45, get the tent up, and that'll leave me time about an hour or so before sunset to think about compositions and photographing this place. Well, it's actually been surprisingly busy up here this evening. I've had chats with 3 people. There's a couple of guys camping just over that way, and with some reasonable sized tents. Hi guys, if you are looking at this, it was good to meet you. And yeah, so there was a nice composition here actually. I shall clamber up and show you it. Just to explain the setup we've got here actually. So this is my second Z2 body, and this one's got the Laowa 15mm lens. It's an f2. Really I've bought this for astro stuff. It's a fully manual lens, and so it does catch you out. You stick it on the camera and you expect it to start adjusting stuff for you in terms of focus and aperture or shutter speed, all that kind of thing. But basically it's a fully manual lens. There's nothing automatic at all. everything has to be done manually, particularly including focus. So it's quite a difficult lens to shoot with, and so it's been a useful reminder, once again, just getting to grips with it this evening. But I do find it just produces these beautifully sharp images. Right, well, there we go. I am settled down, tents up, and cooking a meal. This is egg fried rice with a bit of tuna in it. It's become a bit of a tradition now. Doesn't take long to cook, doesn't weigh very much, easy to carry, doesn't need much equipment either, so it's a nice, quick, ready meal. During the night, it's possible that I might do a little bit of light painting. I do enjoy a bit of that, even though there aren't really going to be any stars showing up to speak of. Particularly, definitely not going to see the Milky Way tonight. There's way too much cloud around. Right, I'm going to enjoy this meal now, and I'll catch you guys later. Oh, it's about 1:45 AM, something like that, so it should be properly dark outside. Let's point that away. I'm 99% certain there's no stars, but I'm going to have a look. Okay, so it turns out we are completely clouded in. So, yeah, so it's not going to happen. Oh well, I'll just have to go back to bed. Well, dawn has been grey. So unfortunately, no dawn photography, but there you go. That is what it is. I'm enjoying a nice little pot of porridge, and so once I've had that, I think we'll get packed up. The base of the clouds going past there now. It's just starting to break up. Look at this, absolutely beautiful. Fantastic cloud inversion down there, or fog, whatever you want to call it. It just looks spectacular. Just wow. Just are no words to describe how amazing this landscape is. Everywhere I look, there's just fantastic images. Wow. What a morning. Look at that over there. I've got to get that. Right, all cleared up, ready to go. Leave no trace. Cleared up some other people's rubbish. Be better if it wasn't left, of course, but there you go. And ready to head back to the car now and get it set up so that I can have a little bit of sleep recovery, because I was awake several times in the night just seeing whether or not we got conditions, and then alarm went off about 4:30 this morning, so haven't had a lot of sleep, so I need to catch up on that. This afternoon head over towards Lydford, where I hope to get some nice waterfall images. So I'm quite liking this little scene. What I do like is the way that the water is kind of snaking through these little rapids here, and I want to capture that motion. I also want to take off some of the glare on the water. The first thing I'm going to do is put on a polarizer. Well, that was nearly over before it began because I could not get the adapter ring off my Nissi filter system. It was just completely stuck, locked tight. So top tip, the way I got it off in the end was I spat on it. There's a first for a photography channel, I think. Spitting on your gear to solve a problem. So yeah, so I spat on the ring and left it a minute or two, and apparently that frees it up. I've also then turned it to almost maximum on the polarizer. It's still not really giving me the kind of sweep of the water all the way through this little cascade that I want. So I'm going to do that by putting on my Lee filter 6-stop. So I've got to say I'm pretty pleased with the outcome there. I've tried at various shutter speeds. I've got this one down to 4 seconds. Well, sometimes you've just got to get in the water. So I'm going to carry on doing various scenes like this. I won't talk you through all of them. There's not a lot of point in that. This would not be the time to drop several £1,000s worth of camera equipment in the water. Well, the wind is supposed to be about 5 to 8 miles an hour, and it isn't anything like that. It's quite gusty up here, and I'll show you in a minute, but my camera is perched right on the edge, right on the edge of the cliff, and it's making me quite nervous. So this is St Michael's Church at Brent Tor in Devon. So sunset is in, oh, I've got my watch on. It's in about 10 minutes. Behind you is a lot of grey, particularly on the horizon, which doesn't bode well for any colour. There's no way that's going to clear in time, unfortunately. So I don't think we're going to get the light, that nice warm glow. What we have got is a bit of a blue hour effect. So we've got this nice sort of crisp blue sky beyond, and yeah, that looks quite pleasant. It's just not the shot that I'm after. I'm going to hang around till about midnight, and we'll see what the cloud cover is doing. The good news is that the stars have come out to play tonight. Probably not for very long. I think we've got till about 2 o'clock. So I've set up an intervalometer on my first camera body with the Laowa 15mm lens. That's taking a shot every 30 seconds for an hour and a half. Well, sadly, I'm afraid the cloud has moved in, and it's just gone 1 o'clock, so it's coming earlier than expected. So got a few shots, didn't get time to set up the tracker, unfortunately. So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on this, and I'll see you again next time.